This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Oh, hey everybody, and welcome to Lucha Afterground, the premier Lucha Underground after show on the web. My name is Max, and with me, as always, Travis, we were not here last week. What was happening?
Well, you tell me, pal. Where were you? No, it's cool. Like, we all have lives.
Yes, my God. I'm finding it very hard to manage all of these projects right now.
Sure. Where were you? Were off on the island? Where were you guys?
Yeah, we did a little cabin thing.
That sounds nice. Just
it was Canada Day.
Just the two of you?
No, some other couples as well.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. So just didn't have the opportunity to get to talk lucha with everybody.
But it's all right.
We got
double shot.
We got 2 episodes to get into, so I think we should just dive right in.
Well, no, but I've got 2 weeks of news and notes to talk about.
Oh my God!
You got anything?
No.
Me neither.
No,
wait. I got Antonio Cueto got back to us. That was exciting.
Oh yes, that's right.
I mean, I really kind of pandered to him. I was hoping to get a nod from Modelo as well.
Oh,
but but it worked.
I bet you the people who are working Modelo's social media accounts have no idea that Lucha Underground even exists.
I doubt it. You got to sign on to these.
I hope
somebody on top knows.
Hey, I hope somebody on top.
Yes.
Somebody who's running the Twitter handle? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I was going to ask you actually on the topic of news and notes. What's going on in the world of Melissa and Brian Cage on social media? Are they still together?
As
they
far
had a
as I know.
baby?
Yep, they have a baby. A little girl. Name escapes me. Occasionally you'll see each of them doing little snuggles.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Things are going well, it looks like.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's fine. I was just thinking back to that Instagram post from way back when. It was just
so intense.
Yeah.
But they've mellowed out.
I guess so.
Yeah. They definitely seem like a couple that just keep escalating and drama,
sure.
and then they have to have a baby out of wedlock.
Yeah. Oh, sinful. Absolutely sinful.
Well, that's nice. And what else is I going to say?
Nothing else? The news and notes?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
I was listening to an interview with Kenny Omega on Jim Ross today, and he was saying that Jeff Cobb is going to be involved in New Japan a lot more coming up. So that's cool.
He's not in the G1 though.
He is not in the G1. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
but he'd be perfect for it. Yeah. I don't know. That's all I got.
Well, that's cool. That's good to hear. Because he's great. So, do it to it.
What did I do it to it?
Lucha Underground, Season 4, Episode 3. We begin with a recap. Dario Cueto's shot. They remind us of that. They remind us of the gauntlet. They remind us of Antonio Cueto and Catrina when he wondered if she was a phantasma. Pentagon Dark and Matanza from the week before. And they mentioned Jeremiah Crane joining in this three-way main event that we're going to see tonight. Which leads us to our first segment, Ricky Mundo talking about the pictures. They finally paid off the pictures.
Boom.
I told you.
Surprising. Like, that was a long time ago.
I know.
That was, like, in the first quarter of Season 3?
Yeah. And it was,
wild.
Like, literally just a blink and you miss it kind of
thing.
Yeah,
no kidding. I thought this was good. Ricky Mandel, man, if you think about where his character began in this and where it is now, like he's had quite the arc.
Yeah.
And who knows where it's going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That freaky face he gave at the end there.
Do you think that doll is associated with anybody else that we've seen already?
Yes. Or, 50-50. It could be, or it could be somebody we haven't even, oh my gosh, a whole new sort of thing.
Or do you remember that guy with the crazy mask at the end of Season 3 that the CIA agent was talking to? I think he was implied that he was the man in the limo.
Yeah.
And we saw his mask.
We saw his mask?
Yeah.
Or you think the guy who, it was like death or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be something connected there.
Huh.
But
maybe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so he's talking about, he's got his doll named Rosa, who says, hola. Went to the Isle of the Dolls, which sounds like, hey, I'd like to see that cutscene.
No kidding. Wow.
So Johnny shows up where everybody else is, and this is in the locker room in the back. Says they had needed an emergency meeting, talking about the reptile tribe and how they're getting under their skin. What did he call them? Those slamming turd cutters. We got to do something about those slamming turd cutters. Thought that was a good line.
Yeah.
And again, another big moment. Jack Evans speaks for the first time in forever.
No kidding.
Yeah.
PJ Black's hair.
Yeah. It's got some color in it.
Yes. I mean, super weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it.
Yeah.
Don't know if I care for it. I was looking for his fingers.
Yeah, well, he's got those gloves on.
That's cool. I think that's by design.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I think maybe they're trying to hide that he's missing a finger. But now we're going to have to keep guessing. Is that confirmed
that he's missing a finger? Or is that just something we've decided?
Well, then all of a sudden he's got gloves on?
It seems a little weird.
No, it was like a part of the whole... I mean, we got it from Banner, and that's the kind of gruesome stuff he loves.
That's right.
So he's not going to get anything wrong there.
Has PJ Black actually lost a finger? There must be a photo. We need photo evidence, believers.
All right, yeah,
please
send us
something on Twitter. Convince me. Mm-hmm. I'm not convinced that he's actually lost a finger. I don't want medical close-ups. I just want like a grainy photo, that proves it.
All right. I think we'll spot it. We'll spot it later. There's going to be one close-up. There's the fake finger.
You think it's fake?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah,
they should do something where it's like they have his finger cut off.
I know. I was totally thinking that. And I'm sure that I'm sure it's been passed or tossed around. It should be.
The doll can bite it off like a turtle.
Perfect.
Yes.
Exactly like a turtle.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jack Evans says he has to run for a colonics appointment.
That's funny.
I guess, but part of me thinks that hey, can I say that I have to run to a colonics appointment?
Yeah.
And on set, they're like, okay.
They probably love it.
Yeah, or they like it.
He doesn't like snakes.
Yeah, he doesn't like snakes.
And as soon as he said that, I was like, "But dude, you're the Dragon Slayer!" And then they brought that up. I'm like, "Okay, good, good. They're paying attention to the details, which is nice."
Yeah. Johnny Mundo asks about Angelico once more. Anybody seen him around? Because I owe him a beating.
That's funny.
And they leave Ricky Mundo with the doll, and the doll says, "Your secret is safe with me." And then we see that Ricky Mundo creepy face. Good to see some development with him.
Yeah, for sure. Is there room in Lucha Underground for more than one crazy person?
Haven't we always said there's always different levels of creep and crazy and all these things? I
guess so. It feels like he's close to Marty.
Sure.
Getting close to Marty.
Then maybe that's where the doll came from. You never know.
Maybe.
If you're thinking of it could be from somebody we know, then maybe that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good little segment.
It was what it was.
Yeah, and we enter the temple, Mariachi El Bronx, as we were saying today as we watched the later episode. I really, really like this band. I think that we were saying it'd be great to see them on a hot summer night, outdoor festival. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And that leads us to our first match. Jack Evans returns to the ring versus Lucha Underground debut of X-O-Licious.
X-O-Licious. So I looked him up on...
Well, I was going to mention that when we got to it. I know Stryker calls them he throughout the match. I assume that was...
their preferred pronoun?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But, Matt Stryker, I've heard just from tweeting with Wrestle Twitter people that he is a bit of an MRA.
What is MRA?
Men's rights activist.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So it's possible that he I mean, I don't want to start anything here, but maybe he never asked and didn't feel like he had it. Yeah, right.
A Jordan Peterson type.
Yeah, precisely.
Mm-hmm.
The intellectual dark web. Ridiculous. But
cards, my friend.
The X-O-Licious, I'm going to say this right now, pushes the envelope.
I think so. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes.
Yeah. I was... Did I believe that they were in a fight? No.
Yeah, no.
Not once.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with the athleticism,
flexibility. I think looked like a gymnast background type thing. Yeah,
had some really creative moves.
Yeah.
Stuff I'd never seen before.
Mm-hmm. But you said you looked them up?
I did look them up. They've only been wrestling for like three years.
Yeah.
And doesn't really seem to have a home promotion either. mostly in Eastern United States. Comes up to Canada every so often.
Does he only wrestle
Toronto.
as Exolicious?
No, it's Sunny Kiss.
Is it? Okay, but same sort of gimmick?
I would assume so.
Yeah, with a name like that?
Yeah, totally. Had a dark match in Evolve, and that's about as close as
how long
he's gotten until now. Only 3 years.
Yeah, it did seem green, but look, I see
good stuff.
Yeah.
Bring it on, man.
I see possibilities there.
And he wins.
Yeah. That was not a bad match. Aside, he's not quite a wrestler yet.
Yeah,
is that safe?
I would say so.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's lots of people who are athletic and who are let's call it like gymnast like, but their matches are never
natural athletes.
Yeah, their matches don't really feel like fights. Like even some of the early, Ricochet stuff just feels like a gymnastic exhibition at times. But he'll come around if he keeps working at it. I mean, only 3 years in, really impressive. And plus, obviously, has a gimmick that's like going to gain traction.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll play in any indie bingo hall anywhere.
Totally. I would love to see him move away from like the metropolitan areas and into some
well said.
Deeper states in the U.S. and see how it plays there.
Yeah. Anyways, Jack Evans steals the mic like he did before, like he had done way back when, which is good. He's really using his voice again, so that's nice. EXO, as I said, with some really fun gymnastic type work, and it's creative. Reckless looking crossbody to the outside. They're just like it's good that Jack was there to catch him. The booty shake. That's where I'm thinking. Okay, this guy's really pushing the envelope. Jack Evans with some good mat work. Handspring into the eye gouge. Jack Evans had some cool submission holds. So just different. It seems like he's kind of evolved a little bit from before.
Do you think? I want to talk about this later, but I think that there has been a lot of, like, let's say, leveling up or evolution across the board for everybody in this show. Although some people I think have progressed, have taken a step up. Other people I think may have taken a step down.
For example?
Well, I hate to say it. I'm going to go with Pentagon.
Sure.
It doesn't feel... He doesn't feel like a...
I think we kind of talked about this.
We have, yeah, exactly.
Because he's become so over on the indies and stuff that he's starting to just...
So my question for you is, how has... If you're sensing a change in Jack Evans, is it for the better? Is it... In what way has he changed in your mind?
I just said I'm noticing some more like a really unique submission hold and like some cool mat work earlier.
Oh, okay, interesting. He probably does, like, as somebody who is so aerial as you age.
Yes, yeah.
You need to.
You gotta turn it into a ground game. I really noticed a couple pretty clear edit points with EXO in this match.
It's where they cut out the really explicit shit.
But he busts that envelope wide open.
Yeah, from that taping, it's X-rated. It's completely fucked.
Jack Evans with that standing corkscrew is great that he does.
Absolutely.
But a kick out, so an EXO hits the X Factor off the top for the win. I said, not bad. Nice to see Jack in action again, and he really kind of carried EXO through. It was a pretty solid match, as good as you could get out of somebody.
I can't wait to see what EXO does next.
Yeah,
they're building him up for something.
Yeah,
what is it going to be?
Feud to come? Yeah.
I think it's going to be good.
So it takes next segment. Pentagon Dark is in the ring. This is really just kind of promo for nothing. I don't know if they're filling time or what, but he talks about his last two matches. Although then Cage comes in with the discus lariat, beat down, gets a table, nice little power bomb into the table there.
Yeah.
Cage cuts a quick promo, and there's I guess the feud to come.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The thing I like most about Lucha Underground is it doesn't usually have to resort to that sort of thing, and so that's the type of thing I'd like to see in a vignette. That's what they do strongly,
as we know.
Yes.
Less vignettes. So these are some of the corners they're going to have to cut. Next, we go backstage to Phoenix and Melissa.
So we were wondering, if their relationship continued.
I had that whole scenario that apparently did not go that way.
It's too bad that they couldn't have caught some footage of them when she was pregnant, right? And then it's like, oh,
God,
now
add a child to the mix. Oh my God.
Yes, totally. But it's probably difficult to pull off.
I'm going to raise you by myself. So she says, I can't lose you. A really tender moment between the two there.
Melissa's just so good.
Yep.
And she does a great job. The acting is just campy enough.
And she's got a great face in general, but a great face for this the whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
Everything.
Totally. A key player.
Yeah. Here. And that leads us to, there are only 2 matches in this one because this next one was a long one. The main event, 3-way to the grave, Mil Muertes versus Jeremiah Crane versus Phoenix. Phoenix. So these entrances went on forever. But there was a really, the ominous music, even before Muertes had come out there. Do you remember hearing this? It was just kind of in the background.
Well, maybe that's just for the grave consequences.
Yeah. I think that's the point. Yeah. But it was interesting. I had an interesting mood. And then I guess we learned that, 2 of the 3 need to die today. That they figured that out for us.
Yeah, so do you think this is the end of Sami Callihan then? You know what? I was never really a big fan of his character anyways.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I love what he's doing in terms of like kayfabe and like when like pushing his gimmick and like selling tickets right now. But I just don't feel like he fit into the thing. And I gotta tell you, I feel the same way about Savage Jake Strong. Why are you here?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have a theory about him too that the more we saw him today, I'm hoping it doesn't come to fruition. We'll talk about it later. Did you notice there was like this big kind of existential discussion between Matt Stryker and Vampiro about, they were talking about like the meaning of life and death and darkness and everything while these like long
quoting
intros
long
were going.
Bible verses and things. I guess so, guys.
They're just filling time. Like I said, it was just the 2 matches in this one. Even though this one was long, they had stuff to fit in. Or stuff to fill. Starts out Phoenix and Mil Muertes to start and look good. Jeremiah Crane with an ugly tope through the middle rope, but it, was matching the kind of style that we needed to see here. Phoenix with the textbook moonsault to outside. Mil Muertes follows up with I love when he goes off the top.
Do you think Mil has lost weight? Is he slimmed down?
Maybe.
For me, he felt leaner.
Yeah, he might be
even
right.
made me question for a second, is this the same Mil? But the tattoos are, of course, the same.
Yes.
But I think he has
You might be right.
down.
You might be right.
I don't know if I like it.
No? Yeah,
I think I need him to be he needs to be like the second biggest guy at all times. He can never be less than the second biggest
that stereotypical luchador build with like the massive chest.
Yes.
And
totally.
It's not as overt.
He's probably healthier though.
Yeah, you're probably
whatever he's
right.
done. So the longer he can live, I wish you a long and happy life.
But Max, very astute. This match, probably best match of the season.
Yeah. I guess so. Honestly, I had a hard time having it hold my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got me by the end. I felt like it was brawling out onto the outside. I thought the crowd had been dead for these first 3 matches, for every match. They finally started to get them later. It's all the tables and everything.
When Phoenix does a huge jump off the whatever structure that was, that's when, for me, things began to start.
Yeah, I think this is where I'm getting to. After Jeremiah Crane hit that first pile driver on top of the stairs, the Mil Muertes enters through the elevator. That was a nice touch. So that was great. Different. You don't see that
a lot. Very true.
If ever.
It's nice that they're using the space because that's one thing that we haven't seen them really do yet is take advantage.
We rarely saw it with this match.
Yeah. And it makes me miss the temple, man.
Of course.
Yeah, temple was nice, but
but we're seeing some more possibilities. That elevator reveal could be great.
Yeah.
They could use that every episode. I don't care. As you said, Phoenix climbed super high and an awesome dive onto the true. And here's where the crowd finally started heating up. But I wonder if it's always like shooting in the 3 episode segments. Are they exhausted, or is it just like that for the whole crew, for that whole, even for Aztec Warfare, there was a lot of pin drop moments.
The crowd, you mean, exhausted?
Yeah. And both Phoenix and Jeremiah Crane tumble down the stairs. They remind us of Mil Muerte's origin story. Do you remember that? They kind of go through everything that happened with him. So that was a good little reminder.
Yeah, totally.
Things are getting a little clunky until it hits an awesome splash to the outside. I can't remember who it was. But then...
was it Mil? Mil did a splash off the top rope.
Yeah. And then again, Jeremiah Crane hits another pile driver on Phoenix through the table. Jeremiah Crane points at Catrina to remind us of their whole dynamic.
Yeah. And then when that happened, I sort of clued in. I'm like, wow, Catrina does have like a romantic sort of thing with all
everybody.
Three of these guys. It's something that
she's playing the long con, man.
Yeah. It never really kind of came up in any of the build to this, like her relationship with Phoenix. But I'm glad it paid off later.
Yeah. So Phoenix starts to be rolled towards the coffin. It looks like Jeremiah Crane's about to put him in, but who enters but Ivelisse?
God. With a hammer.
Bright red hair.
Yeah.
At first I thought, that's not Eva Marie, is it? Oh my God.
I didn't recognize who it was either because they shot her from behind first.
Yeah.
Everything that she does with this hammer seemed pitch perfect.
Yeah.
She felt real. It felt violent.
Yeah.
Selling was awesome.
Yeah.
Her anger was awesome. The crowd reacted exactly the way you wanted it to.
Yeah.
The head fell off.
But even
didn't even matter.
Great. Yeah. Fantastic. And it pays off because that's what they gave her to get injured one more time at the end of season 3. Remember, at the end of her match, Jeremiah Crane came and hit her in the ankle with so she's cashing her receipts.
That's good.
Yeah,
that is good.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that being the end of Jeremiah Crane?
Great. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. I don't think. I know he's got a story with Catrina, but I don't see much of a dynamic with those other two luchadors. So this made sense for how you would write him out of this match. I think you might be right. He might be done. I mean, he might not be.
Yeah.
But that might be fine. Like that, like if they're...
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it if it is because they need to go back to having those grave consequences matches matter. And have stakes, right? And so, if at least one of the two are done for good, then it matters.
Then we do care about these grave consequences matches. Yeah. Ivelisse with some she started just shouting in Spanish. Like it was so good to see her again. As I said, nicely pays off that Ultima Lucha Tres storyline. There's that tight sidewalk slam for Mil Muertes we'd seen from before. Starts to tear the mask off like the old one. Now we're getting to this kind of real good heat. Good shots of Melissa's worried face. Phoenix is busted open on the removed turnbuckle.
Phoenix bleeds a lot in this show.
Yeah, especially when it's a grave consequences match.
Man, I wonder what he looks like without that mask on. Is he just carved up underneath there?
I don't know. Good question.
Does he have that forehead that you see?
Yeah, like you'd see with like Dusty or Flair. He's probably the best face in peril in the company.
I mean, how many other faces are there?
Now that Puma's gone, good question.
Maybe Willie Mack.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and he doesn't have to really kind of work from underneath, or we haven't seen him in that position much as of late. We haven't seen him, period, as of late. It really starts to pick up. Really good struggle of trying to fight away from the coffin, and an ugly toss into the coffin. So this wild rolling pop-up cutter. Do you remember this?
Yes.
At their late slap fest. It was a really good way to finish that off. It's really picking up at the end here. Phoenix choke slammed onto the coffin. Mil Muertes catches it off the top catches Phoenix off of the top for the flatliner. Good finish, and then just rolls him into the coffin and closes the lid for the win. First time I'm dropping snowflakes this season. I went 3 first time I watched it. Now the more I talk about it and I can get your I'll go 3 1/4. Sure.
Awesome.
Let's go crazy.
I'd say that's about right. For me, the build up, the way the story had been presented, there was no question that it was Mil Muertes that was going to win because nobody else had any real stakes. There was no reason for Phoenix to win this match. There was no reason for Jeremiah Crane to win this match. The only person that had a reason was Catrina through Mil. So going into it is like, well, the chances of them not having Mil win this is 0. But I mean, it was still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought good hard work and as moved some plot really well. Melissa's sad announcement of the victor was a good touch.
Yeah. Now I have got mixed feelings about that.
Okay.
I mean, I like it, but on the other hand, I'm like, what would I do differently? Like, I don't know. Like, in terms of, like,
just
delivering
like
that.
Sobs instead.
Yeah, or just, like, can't do it. Like, and the winner
okay, I got it.
throws it down and runs away.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe. But who am I to question?
She's a pro,
Melissa
right?
Santos.
She's got...
Exactly.
The Catrina has a little sexy moment with the cough, and that was kind of weird. And then it's taken out. It was taken away. That leads us to the last segment of the episode. Boy, we are whipping through this, buddy. This is good.
We have to, because we're half an hour in.
Last segment is Matanza with Atari. Antonio Cueto. We see Matanza is chained down. Antonio explains that the key that has taken away his soul. The key has made you weak. Or has given him a soul. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. What are we even talking about anymore?
Finally throws him the key and says something, destroy the soul of my...
It was super confusing.
Yeah, destroy the soul of my whatever. Lots of soul stuff.
Yeah, it was like something about the key, break the key, it will make you stronger.
Yeah,
right?
basically.
I interpreted it that he was like, oh, you still had a little bit of human in you, but break this key and now it's over.
Now you're pure monster.
Pure monster, which I guess is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and, we were complaining about how weak he looked, or at least I was, in the match against Pentagon, and now they're explaining it. So that's good. At least I got a plan for him. So this I love that. I really enjoyed the main event. Not as good as the previous Grave Consequences that I can think of, but still, that's a good good template for them.
I like that they're going through their greatest hits.
Sure.
I mean, they got 20 eps.
Yep.
This is up 3. We've done Aztec Warfare and Grave Consequences already.
Yeah.
What else?
We had a medallion.
The medallions are coming.
Next up.
Maybe there'll be a trios tournament.
Sure.
And then, of course, Ultima Lucha. Is there anything I'm missing that they do?
Another Art of War match or whatever the hell.
Darius Dial of Doom.
So we're going to have to change that to Antonio's Apple Box of Answers.
Atrocities.
He's not Canadian. He's from Alberta.
Atrocities.
Okay, well, this is Fast and Furious, but we have a lot of content to go through. So we're going to take a break for some messages from our friends at Place to Be Nation.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, pro wrestling announcer Kevin Kelly here. I want to make sure you are all subscribed to all the great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. It's really easy to do. Just head to iTunes or your preferred podcatcher app today and search and subscribe to the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, which, of course, includes the full archives of The Kevin Kelly Show, the Place to Be Nation pod feed, and the Pro Wrestling Only feed. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. And be sure to give Justin your true thoughts. I mean, don't hold back. After all, he is kind of a jerk. Just listen to Scott.
Place to Be Nation's JT Rosero and Chad Campbell here. We want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlaceToBeNation.com. We offer them to you on 2 great feeds. On the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, we bring you the Mothership, the Place to Be podcast, along with Main Event, Survey Says, the Monday Night Wars, and our monthly pay-per-view reaction show, as well as Jeff Learns Wrestling. In addition to these full-length shows, we also deliver special network podcasts and pod blasts on topics old and new.
Over on the Pro Wrestling Only feed, we dive deep inside the wrestling business with a stacked army of experts leading the way. The feed features potpourri shows such as This Week in Wrestling, Greetings from Allentown, Match of the Week podcast, and the Military Industrial Suplex. We also have shows that focus intently on certain topics like Through the Years, Worldcast, Strong Style History, Strong Style Story, and Mount Olympus. Plus, the feed has the full archives of legendary shows like Titans of Wrestling, Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Center Stage, and Letters from Kayfabe, plus much more. And on our very popular Place to Be Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as Talkin' Pop, the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, NBA Team, PTBN Play, Sunday Groove, Breaking Balls, and Lucha Undead, as well as a veritable podcast heaven for comics fans with the hard-traveling fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversations, Geek and Sassy, and Marvel Age podcasts.
You can find all of these current shows, plus archives of our past podcasts, including The Kevin Kelly Show, as well by subscribing to both feeds on iTunes. And while there, be sure to rate and leave feedback today. All these shows, plus others, available at PlayStation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus in-depth stretch projects, and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlayStation.com/Amazon when doing your online shopping, and download our free PTB Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on our site. We also want to thank our friends at Boneheads Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, and historyofwrestling.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlayStation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
It's been a while.
We don't have time for a man of everyone's favorite segment.
New segment. Sweeping the nation. Man of Arms, Art of War.
Art of Violence, Man
Art
of War.
Man of Arms, Art of War.
Man of Arms. Man of Arms?
Art of War.
Art of War.
Sounds like it'd be like once the He-Man franchise has become really big,
yes.
It'd be like a spin-off. Oh, you guys are making a Man of Arms movie.
Totally.
And that'd be like the third one in the trilogy after when the receipts aren't coming in as well. Man of Arms, Art of War.
We also don't have time for the Microman update, but I will say that he has recently had a fresh televised match. Ooh. So anybody who's out there who's been following his escapades, he has wrestled again.
Good.
Not yet dead.
Yeah. How old is he again?
I am afraid to look at him. I do not want to know how old he is.
Older, what do you think? Just take a stab. Older or younger than Masquerade Sagrada?
I'm hoping he's like 20 years old.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Just the next 40 years of Microman.
Oh, God. He's a gem. Mm-hmm. Enjoy him while you can, folks.
Lucha Underground, Season 4, Episode 4. Let's keep this train rolling. Recap, they mentioned Johnny Mundo and his little conversation backstage. We were reminded of, oh my gosh, Captain Vasquez appearance.
Yes, I forgot
half of the medallion. Maybe tonight's the night.
Oh!
Gauntlet of the Gods, King Cuernos. Said they're mentioning the gauntlet. Said he gave it to someone for safekeeping. That's an important line that
yes,
because of stuff that will come later. They remind us of the finish from the last episode with Antonio and Matanza, as well as Phoenix and Catrina. And that leads us right into our first scene with Catrina at what looks to be, I don't know, the embalming room at a mortuary.
Where they keep the morgue, I guess.
The morgue, the luchadors, are they not allowed to remove their masks in the...
That's a really funny comment. I think they have respect.
Yes.
For what they do.
Yeah.
If I was Melissa, I'd be upset that Catrina just gets access to the body.
Yeah. Wow, she bamfed right into there.
I guess
another
that's
thing
true.
I want to talk about, the bamfing. Anyways, Catrina. She says to him, "Your life is gone, my love." And she kisses a dead Phoenix.
Yes.
Something happens, and all of a sudden she's in a red dress.
Yeah. I like this a lot.
Me too.
Really got my imagination going.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is
she mortal now?
Is she mortal?
That's what I think. Because in the next scene with Melissa, she does not bamf out of there. She walks out the back.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I'm also wondering, is this where... Like, Phoenix is not just going to disappear if he comes back.
He's man of 1,000 lives.
Will he be a bad guy?
Dark Phoenix saga.
Dark Phoenix. Ooh. That could be cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. And Melissa
and
has
no
to
Mel. No Jeremiah Crane either, you'll notice.
But maybe, they don't even mention him. But maybe, that'd be good, is Melissa has to bring him back. I know there's still good in you, kind of thing, something like that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That is definitely what is happening.
Yeah, I hope so.
Lucha Libre genius.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So anyway, we do see Melissa in mourning. She's flipping through pics on her iPhone.
So funny.
Yeah. Kind of zooms in a little more. They picked a weird one for her to zoom in because he's not even fully in the picture, but whatever.
It seemed natural.
Yeah,
I accepted it.
Yeah, cool. Catrina enters and said he gave his life for me. I feel more alive now than I've ever felt. gives Melissa gives her the medallion. It's like she doesn't even need it anymore.
Yeah, I don't need this piece of junk.
Yeah.
And she seemed kind of into it, Melissa. Which, it's a weird thing that she was like, here, you can use this to remember Phoenix. But it's like, Phoenix had nothing to do with it.
Yes, yeah.
What the fuck? I don't know. But Melissa's into it.
Yep.
Good for her.
Yep. And we enter the temple. But a good hot little start there. A lot of they're moving plot here, developing character. Mariachi El Bronx one more time. I think we get him one more episode. Remember Joseph said we get him in 5 little segments, but there was no band for the opener, so I don't know.
Right. We need to Striker.
Yeah. So right away at the beginning, he brings up Jake Strong and Famous B.
Striker is wearing a Gauntlet of the Gods t-shirt.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize it.
Reconcile that for me.
Uh-huh.
How does Striker have a Gauntlet of the Gods t-shirt?
So you're telling me that like there's not a chance of any sort of merch tables at this event?
Why would it be for why? That's a merch about like some mystical item. Why? Who would make that merch?
Gauntlet of the Gods. Are we talking about the belt that they thing, or just the gauntlet itself?
The gauntlet.
So it was a picture. It was the actual guy. I didn't see the shirt.
Yes. There's a picture of the gauntlet.
Well, perhaps it has shown up in the temple before. Perhaps he doesn't have to know anything about it. He just knows, oh, this thing was pretty cool. And maybe people are still talking about it in the Lucha Underground universe.
God, I just wish they would have a character. You can expand on this. Just imagine there was a character who was responsible for merch. Yes. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Vinny Massaro.
He's the guy who's responsible for merch. Yeah. He's selling it out of his van in the alley. Yeah. I love it.
I'm hot today.
Yeah, it's so good. Or think you could get Luis Guzman?
Perfect. Not a chance.
No, this is
not a chance. Danny Trejo. Better chance of Danny Trejo.
Yeah. It's funny. Oh, he has appeared, but only as an audience member.
Yeah.
Man.
Luis Guzman. Love Luis Guzman. One of the Paul Thomas Anderson players.
That's right. Just somebody who is responsible. He can be the person shipping. They can ship the DVDs. That explains the cameras. That explains Striker. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. Even if it's just a quick little thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm dying for it.
Yeah. Anyway, so Matt Striker brings up Jake Strong and Famous B. And there's an actual get what you can leave, get well soon thing. It sounds like they might have to amputate Famous B. That was a great line. I laughed at that.
Yeah, he sold it.
So maybe we'll give it a shot. We'll see what it sounds like. I know you're going to be calling repeatedly, I'm sure.
I do want to know.
I know, me too.
Banner called it once.
The old one. But I think it's probably been updated because of this. Now it's like you could,
give him well wishes.
Yeah, give him good
I hope you get better soon, Famous B.
Yeah.
But he's not really a good guy.
No,
right?
No.
Yeah, anyways, it's nice that they're keeping it up.
Mm-hmm. So here's our first match with beautiful Brenda. Enter Big Bad Steve, who, as I said, looks like a sweetheart. Looks like a nice guy. He's a mechanic. That's his mechanic gimmick. Against the Savage, Jake Strong. I like that it's not just Savage Jake Strong, it's the Savage in quotes. Again, that strong chant is there to start. Early strike exchange. Jake Strong with he was kind of holding his hand over his chest, like in the "We the People" kind of pose. I don't know if that's a sense memory or
no, I'm sure that's part of his shtick.
Yeah. There's a really disturbing comment about when he was going after the kidneys, and they said
Matt Striker is like pee blood.
Gross.
What the hell, man?
That's really bizarre. Dude.
Yeah. What? You were quoting the Bible,
yeah. Like at the end of last episode.
You've quoted like Tennyson. This is nuts.
Yeah, he's an
and
interesting
now you're
guy.
just chanting pee blood. I don't know.
Yeah. What's going on in that brain? This basically is just an extended squash into the ankle lock for the win, and another ankle lock break.
Nice job on the sound effects.
Yeah, it's good that they've added that.
Jake Strong does not excite me.
No, not yet. There's a nice little gut wrench to the outside. There's where we're starting to see some of the stuff that I really like from him. But yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Can he go? Does he have?
Yes.
Does he have a second gear?
Yes.
This is so pretty plodding.
Yeah.
Moving slowly.
Like a gentleman's wager, I say that we get at least 3.5 star match out of Jake Strong in this season.
Okay.
I'm not just going to, I'll keep it up. You know me. I'm not going to lie about this.
Sure. Well, I'm not going to take you up on that bet.
Yeah, okay.
Because you have an extreme conflict of interest, but...
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. I don't. I call it down the middle. Mm-hmm. I'm the Marty Elias of this podcast.
That's nice.
Yeah, Jake takes...
That's one for the fans.
He takes his bandana. He said that he had taken something...
Well, I don't remember it, but they were saying, he takes something from his victims, like he had done it to Famous B. Also, is Jake Strong a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
I remember we thought they're just kind of booking him like a babyface monster.
Is there such a thing?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you can go around breaking ankles.
Look at Braun is a babyface monster.
Sure, but can you break ankles and be a babyface?
In the ice house?
The ice house.
Yes, you can. Anyways, just a whatever squash match. Not as good as the other squash match. We got 4 matches this episode after 2 than the previous one. Antonio Cueto is in his office with King Cuerno talking about the gauntlet.
Man, Cuerno did a fantastic job in this.
Boom.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Dude, Cuerno is really good.
Yep. He is runaway MVP so far this season.
Without a question.
Yeah.
He's somebody who has leveled up beyond...
Big time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when we get to his match, he looks like a star out there. Yeah.
All his mannerisms, everything he does, is so calculated, so thoughtful, so play... who is this guy outside of playing King Cuerno? Who does he wrestle as?
He's got another name.
Yeah.
He wears a purplish mask from time to time. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Phantom? It's like...
Something like that.
But
he wrestles as Cuerno in Impact.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
We're going to look him up.
As you're doing it, I'll talk more about the scene. He says so this is good that he tells Antonio that was stolen from me. So we don't really know where this thing is now, because he said something different to Catrina.
Yeah.
And now he's saying something to Antonio. Like with Catrina, you can see it's just like, I need to keep a tough facade on with her, or maybe maybe he still has it somewhere.
Yeah, he's just straight up lying. Mm-hmm. His acting in this was just so
fantastic,
good. So many just like little touches and like interesting deliveries.
Yeah.
Like the guy is putting in the effort, man, it is paying off
big time. He offers a medallion. I'll give you the gauntlet for a medallion from your own tribe. I'm like, how is that a fair trade? That's just one of 7 to get a money in the bank contract, essentially, as opposed to this thing that can smash Lorenzo Lamas's face.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Maybe he knows something. Maybe he knows it's not good. It's bad mojo.
Yeah, he didn't really go for it, but. Anyways, what's the name gives him Chavo, because, again, I remember going back to the Aztec Warfare, we were kind of like, Chavo eliminates King Cuerno? We were kind of like, what was that?
I think it has something to do with...
Well, it says it goes into this. At least they paid it off here. This is the guy who eliminated you. Now you get this match with him.
Yeah, but I think more so, my thinking on it is that Cuerno... previously in previous seasons was presented as a villain, and now he has returned in a face role, and so you have to communicate that to the audience. You pair him up with somebody who's like Chavo, who is obviously bad, still bad. There was even a couple of touches in the match later on where he doesn't use the chair, he throws it away, stuff like that. He's in the crowd, he gets them to. So I think this little mini feud between him and Chavo is really just to cement him as a baby face.
Good. Yeah, I get it.
I think so. Let me tell you a little bit about King Cuerno.
All right. El Hijo de
Fantasma.
So close.
Yeah. Son of Fantasma? Is that what that means?
Sounds right.
Yeah. So, and Fantasma definitely looks like it was like some sort of bootleg. You know the Phantom comic book?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like something like that, but he has definitely... Man, in 2010, he wrestled 122 matches.
There you go.
That is a lot of wrestling.
How old is he?
That's a great question.
I guess 34.
He is. Right on the money. Yeah. 200 pounds, 5'11". Guy's perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Doing just an absolute bang-up job. He's wrestled a bunch for AAA this year. That's his home promotion, I think. Mm-hmm. And definitely in Impact as well. But it looks like in Impact he might be wrestling as
I think I've seen a bit of both. Actually.
Interesting.
But since the kind of full-on Lucha Underground invasion.
Oh, he wrestled as King Cuerno in the Duel show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it looks like he's
otherwise
wrestling
it's okay.
God, I wish I could pronounce Spanish.
I know. El Hijo. No. El Hijo. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't get it.
I don't know.
So Cage enters after this, after he's found out that it's going to be Chavo in the match. There's a nice connection. Antonio, there's a little thing that he's connecting the people on the medallions to these matches.
Yeah.
Nice little thing.
Yeah, which is not something they really did explicitly before.
Yeah. Next week, we get Cage versus Mill. Could be good. I feel like they've fought before. Maybe more than once. But they're in different places now. Somewhat, I guess. This segment finishes with a close-up of that clean, crisp Modelo going down easy, right up against Antonio's, like, right up against his teeth and tongue.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, good stuff.
Just like a close-up of his front teeth. So weird.
It was weird.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Leads us to our next match, Daga and Cobra Moon versus Taya and Johnny Mundo.
Ring the bell.
Yeah. And no K sequence to start with Daga and Taya, as good as it can get. I thought Daga, I'm a Daga fan. I thought he looked good in this.
Daga's awesome.
Yeah. Johnny Mundo's
Daga's world class.
Yeah. Johnny Mundo's tagged in, and we hear Daga say, "Welcome to Snake Town." Cobra Moon with a nice round. She had a good energy.
I think she leveled up.
Yeah,
I think
she is. I was going to say, she had really nice offense throughout this. Really awesome Daga kick into the corner. It was beautifully shot, too. Mm-hmm. Nice teamwork from the two of them. Awesome spin off the top from Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
Good little match, I said here at this point. Russian leg sweep from Cobra Moon. That was great.
Totally.
PJ Black shows up. Just as it's getting going with a boot to the back of the head on Cobra Moon, and Taya hits the finisher for the win.
There was some awkwardness with Cobra Moon when she was going for like the kicks and then the knee strikes. There seemed to be some weird
I don't think
there.
she can't quite figure out how to lay him in there yet.
But she's doing great. Her charisma and personality is fantastic as always. Best match I've seen her wrestle.
Limited role. I think she probably did a total of like 7 or 8. Like full on moves. But they were
that shotgun drop kick that's really in fashion right now. I like it.
Me too. And then Vibora shows up and he looks a little different.
Friggin' Vibora is terrifying now.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me uncomfortable to look at his face.
He looks better.
Vibora looks
like
awesome.
A standing moonsault was, but it's still.
He looked like he didn't know what he was doing last season. He looks like he knows wrestling moves.
Sure, but it doesn't match him and his body. You know what I mean?
That's why I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because before he was just playing like Kane or Undertaker, right? Chokeslam here.
Still, he gets even though he did do that standing moonsault, he gets a lot of help with his offense from everybody else to make him look like he'll just put the boot out and then people will run into it with mad and the chokeslams and all that kind of stuff. The Reptile Tribe is they're holding down PJ Black and Taya and Cobra Moon, so something to like soon to Johnny Mundo, you will call me your queen. Good stuff. Good little moment there.
Yeah, it was good. I always love it when wrestlers give promos when they're exhausted.
Yeah.
Hi. We'll be your queen.
Yeah, sometimes it creates just magic because they're on just running on pure adrenaline, right?
Oh, I mean it. Yeah. I'm not being facetious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Love Cobra Moon. I was impressed with Vibora. This is what I meant when I was talking about people leveling up, leveling down. Like Cuerno, Cobra Moon, Vibora, totally have have risen in terms of their skill level, and I feel like maybe some of the other people who were more established may have lost their edge a little bit. Taya, I include her. I thought she looked a little sloppy.
Me too. I thought that was the clunkiest stuff was at the beginning when she was working with Daga.
Yeah, I want to see. I've never seen a Taya match outside of Lucha Underground. I would love to see like what is the quintessential. I hear she had a no mas match with Sexy Star in AAA. That was supposed to be amazing.
It's supposed to be good. Yeah,
this is what I've heard.
Yeah,
maybe we should seek it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see her in like a more like I don't want to say natural like wrestling environment, but traditional wrestling environment, I guess, and just see how that affects my perception of her.
Yeah. So next segment, Antonio Cueto unlocking the door to walk down to wherever. And we see a silhouette of Matanza just like beating the living hell out of somebody.
I thought do you think that we'll find out who that is? Is that Rey Mysterio? Is that who that's supposed to be?
No. I think it's just like, remember when back in the day when Dario used to just like feed him people? I'm sure it's just like some fresh meat.
Maybe.
And I think he was just like, Yeah, like some people work with a heavy bag.
Yeah.
Matanza needs a human being.
God.
He lines him up and he says, "It's time for your first sacrifice."
Right.
And that leads us into our next match, which is the return
Mr.
Spectacular, who surely has like a long career ahead of him in Lucha Underground, versus Matanza.
Well, he got promo images in like the lead up to season 4. I know he did. I figured this must be somebody that's going to be doing something.
Unless it was like a good red herring, we'll see. Yeah. But Antonio enters here just before with Matanza. And he's like, it's just like,
ring the bell.
Yeah, just all of that. Just some long. You should find that one. But I love the way he says, "I got to fight here, the one and only Mr. Patacalan." It's like something he didn't quite say it right, or like maybe it is this amazing Spanish accent. For the sacrifice to the gods, like this is the first time. He just, I liked Spectacular had the great kind of like the fuck kind of face, just like, who is this guy? What am I doing here?
Yeah, totally. Should we look up Mr. Spectacular? Is this his final thing? If he's going to continue and be a part of the show, I don't want to look him up. I want to leave him off. Sure. If he's going to come back as like the Rabbit Tribe or something in a mask as a different character, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
But if he's gone forever, I am curious.
I can see him coming back as somebody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's leave it.
Okay.
Anyways, he just poses after getting the thing and gets the strong German suplex. Awesome strength spot where he kind of throws him off or catches him and throws him into himself.
Yeah, Cobb has been doing that lately. It's cool.
Into the Wrath of the Gods for a killer squash. Really good squash match. Quick and dirty. Good. And the lights go out. And Mr. Spectacular, when they come back on, is gone. He has been sacrificed to the gods.
It would be cool if it came back and there was this big blood stain. Just like...
Yeah. Anyways, so rest in peace.
Is that something? Or
rest in glory if you're...
Oh, dude, check this idea out. It's Lucha Underground Season 4. You can see it on the horizon. There are no more episodes coming. So you start killing off every single character as you go through, and then your final match are the last 2 people who have not been died. Yeah.
All right.
Only one lives.
All right.
Man, it starts with Mr. Spectacular.
Yeah. This will be they've started now, but this will lead us all the way up to season 9, the last season of Lucha Underground.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine?
No. I cannot.
So that leads us to our main event for a medallion. King Cuerno versus Chavo Guerrero. Chavo to the outside. Hot start here right away. Chavo is selling the leg really well early. Here's what I wrote. King Cuerno feels like a bigger star than before, as we said. It kind of goes into the crowd. King Cuerno with some help from the Believers to stand up, grabbing their hands up when he was up in the thing there. Great stuff. Nice dive. And moves back into the ring. There's a deliberate pace here. There's a lot of space in between each spot. Maybe a little bit too much at times, but I like this match quite a bit. Ugly spot in the corner that kind of made sense. Do you remember this? Oh, yeah, when he couldn't give him the monkey flip, and at first it was kind of...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, not the monkey flip. There's a slingshot.
Yeah.
Different. Monkey flip is always good.
Yeah.
Monkey flip always looks fantastic. Slingshot always looks
it's like
terrible.
Like there's no way that this is possible.
And the only way it ever looks good is when they did it the first time here, which is when you stick somebody under like the turnbuckle or under the rope, and then you slingshot them up into it, because they only have to move like an inch. But as soon as you have to move like a foot or two, the physics of it just break down. Anybody knows it doesn't work.
I know. I've tried all the time.
Yes, wrestlers of the world. I know you're all listening. Every single one of you. Don't do that move. It's so stupid. Stupid.
I've grown to appreciate it.
Oh, I cannot appreciate it.
As another trope.
Not that one.
Yeah.
That one is just too dumb.
All right. But anyway, like as I said, even though it was kind of ugly, it made sense because Cuerno was fighting it off. King Cuerno with, again, nice offense. Leading to the tope that's always awesome. Will never not be amazing. To the outside. This is the hottest the crowd's been all season was for this match.
Cuerno. It's what he brings.
Yeah. Chavo Guerrero uses the ref to kind of get the upper hand and goes for the three amigos, but is stopped at 3 by King Cuerno, who turns it into his finisher for the win. Good match. King Cuerno looks great. And this was, I will say it right now, this episode, best episode of the season.
I think so.
Yeah.
Both these episodes were nice.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that happened, and it was good. It began to feel like Lucha Underground again in a lot of ways. Began to finally see past the weird rope colors. It really got me thinking, like, what if I had my own wrestling promotion, what color would the ropes be? I'm going to say white.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or silver.
Yeah. Silver's pretty cool.
Yeah.
White would have to be like a kind of one-time only sort of thing, or those would get pretty dirty pretty quick.
I guess as they start white, they turn silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, no kidding. Just looking up Chavo's record lately, does not wrestle very often, but I got to tell you, guy looked great. For somebody who does not wrestle very much at all, he looked fantastic.
Well, he's an executive producer. He's heavily involved with Glow, too, right?
Yeah. He had 17 matches in New Japan back in 1996. Oh, who knew? I'll check that out.
Yeah, when it's on the network. New Japan World.
On World?
Yeah.
Does not wrestle very much at all. It's pretty wild. In 2018, he's only had 3 matches.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of semi-retired, and he's more in like the booking, the backstage side of things.
Still, I'm just blown away. Like he looked crisp. He looked good.
Yeah, he's always been fine. He's just beige. He's just blue collar. Like there's no razzle dazzle to him. But he can pull off some good stuff every now and again. Remember he had that he had one really great match against Cage. That you loved.
Yeah, I really did, because it made me question, like,
is this guy gonna
lose
this? Yeah. Well,
2.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Where can they find us on the internet?
Oh, that's
switched that around.
Yeah, I know. I'm not usually one who says that.
I know.
You can check. You can find us on Twitter. Just search for Lucha Afterground, and that is the only place you can find us.
Go to Place to Be Nation.
Place to Be Nation is
.com.
Or you should subscribe to all of the feeds if you're curious which ones. Yeah. There's a lot of them. Just listen to the halfway through this episode.
Yeah.
And other than that, is there something I'm missing?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It's nice to see you.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Yeah. Nice to talk to everybody again.
For sure. Well, I think that's it. So we will be here next week if we can get our lives together. The question is...
The question is...